Nicknamed the Ukrainian Neymar, there's a new talent emerging from Shakhtar, and that being Mykhaylo Mudryk. So with Arsenal among the many teams holding interest, today we'll find out from the man himself where he sees his future. Also what's happening with Arsenal's future fixtures, and what has Fabrizio Romano said about Leroy Sane. Yo, what is going on guys? My name is Fabrizio Sane and welcome back to your boys channel. We are back with our Arsenal content, so don't forget to smash a like if you enjoy and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Make sure to join the Team 14 revolution as we are closing into 120,000 subscribers. And starting off with the breaking news out of the Premier League. This weekend was setting up to be a decent weekend of Premier League footy. You had Man City versus Tottenham, Man United versus Crystal Palace, and most importantly the Arsenal versus Everton. But all of those games have been officially cancelled. With the passing of Queen Elizabeth II, the Premier League have announced, as a mark of respect to Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, this weekend's Premier League match round will be postponed. We spoke about this in our last video, that as we enter Operation London Bridge, the plan that is in place for the death of the Queen, we have entered 10 days of mourning, which in that protocol says all major sporting events in that period of time would be cancelled. You've even had ex-Arsenal manager Arsene Wenger pay tribute to the Queen, saying in an ever-changing world, throughout her reign, her sense of duty and the dedication to keeping the nation united are qualities I have huge respect and admiration for. Most importantly for Arsenal fans, there is no Arsenal this weekend and there is a bit of frustration. Football fans are paying their respects, but at the same time they want to see their teams in action. When you then see stuff like the rugby in the UK going ahead, and likewise the cricket, there have been quite a few questions asked of the Premier League of could they have played these games and showed their respect during it in terms of a pre-match silence and black armbands, etc, etc. But obviously the Premier League believe they are following the protocols that are put forward in the Operation London Bridge. So listen, there's going to be a lot of debate, a lot of frustration, and also I guess understanding. There also will be, I guess, a bit of frustration from the teams and the managers. With the World Cup in November, the fixtures are already so congested. With the European competitions, the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, there's so many games being played already in a small period of time. To take away an entire round of fixtures could cause further issues in the future when these games are most likely played in the midweek. But at the same time, there could also be ramifications in terms of positives, and that being when this game is rearranged, Arsenal could welcome back key players like Thomas Partey from injury. But ultimately your boy can't mask his overall disappointment, and of course we have to keep it very respectful. I understand this is a massive thing, but at the same time, the next time that Arsenal might play Everton, they might be in different form. The likes of Dominic Calvert-Lewin might be back from injury. Personally, I'm not quite sure what to say, so talk to me down below in the comments. And do you think the Premier League made the right choice in terms of postponing this weekend's fixtures? But moving to the future, when will Arsenal next play? Because in that 10-day mourning period, you have two games of PSV at the Emirates Stadium in the Europa League, and then Brentford away in the Premier League next weekend. According to The Athletic, Arsenal's Europa League match against PSV is likely to go ahead after being informed by the Metropolitan Police that they are comfortable with it taking place. It is expected to be officially confirmed over the weekend. That is a game where you have UEFA in charge, not the Premier League, and I think they are making the choice here where they can't have other European teams play their games and not having all of the English clubs like Arsenal play their fixtures. But what's going to be very important to see in that game is how strong a team are Arsenal going to field. Is it going to be like our last game where you've got so much rotation and so many key players sitting on the bench? Or with it potentially being our only game before the international break, is Mikel Arteta going to go big and go strong and start the likes of Gabriel Jesus? But looking past PSV, will Arsenal play their game against Brentford? Because as has been confirmed, the funeral of the Queen is taking place on Monday, September the 19th. And according to reporter Richard Buxton, next Saturday's Premier League fixtures are also expected to be postponed in line with the Queen's state funeral. See, this is where it gets a bit concerning, because if we're not playing next weekend's fixtures, you've only got one more Arsenal game and then it's the international break, and past that our first game back would be against Spurs at the Emirates Stadium. I can somewhat understand next weekend because of the fact the funeral is going to be a massive thing playing, there'll be so many people in London. To have games on a Saturday and Sunday is going to be difficult. But if that was going to be the case, then my frustration is, why are we not playing this weekend's fixtures? Where of course there is no funeral, so therefore it'd be easier for the police to deal with any games. Arsenal, not this weekend. Our next game is going to be against PSV, but past that against Brentford, as it stands, it is expected for that game to be postponed. Moving on, let's talk Mykhaylo Mudryk. The Ukrainian superstar in the making, I think 21 years of age, he's broken onto the scene, and in his last game in the Champions League, scoring a goal, getting 2 assists, he announced himself to the world in the Champions League. Now David Ornstein confirmed that this player was a confirmed Arsenal transfer target in the last window, with Fabrizio Romano confirming bids worth 30 to 35 million euros being rejected. But in terms of going into the future, the Shakhtar star has given an exclusive interview to Ben Jacobs, as he confirms, "My dream is to play in the Premier League. Of course, Arsenal is a very good team with a very good manager. So from my side, I can't say no to Arsenal, but a transfer is not just up to my decision." It's no surprise that his dream is to play in the Premier League, but so openly speaking about Arsenal and the fact that he likes the club, he likes the manager, and that if Arsenal were to make an offer, he wouldn't say no. That's him confirming there and there that if Arsenal make a move and can agree a fee with Shakhtar, he openly wants to sign for Arsenal, and personal terms would not be an issue. It is low-key surprising to see him so open in the media. Often players are very quiet about transfers, leaving it with their agents, and I think he also mentions that in the winter we will see what happens. But Mudryk would not be a cheap transfer, and the price tag we're talking here, confirmed via Fabrizio Romano, is upwards of 50 million euros. Mudryk is a left forward that is right footed. He is a very technical wide forward, and his superpower is of course his pace. Electric quick, and that is why some fans have likened him to Leroy Sane. But now the bigger question here is, are Arsenal going to make the move in January? Because if they don't, I can guarantee to you, the likes of Borussia Dortmund and other clubs that like to sign top young players will try to sign the player. Moving on to Leroy Sane. As Fabrizio Romano says, on Arsenal signing Leroy Sane next summer, he says, "I'm not sure. It could be true, because this summer they had the possibility to try, but they were never 100% convinced. It's about age, about healing, and about a lot of things." By Fabrizio even saying that Sane and Arsenal is a possibility in the first place, he's opening up Pandora's box. So many Arsenal fans love the idea of Sane at the Emirates Stadium. They see him as the perfect wide forward, and I guess the next level blockbuster signing, Mikel Arteta's first Galactico. But as Fabrizio also says, Arsenal only sign players who are 100% convinced of the overall package. Sane could be an option, but I don't think he'll be the priority. Arsenal wants a younger player. Sane is 26, turning 27 this January. By no means is that old, and he's certainly entering the peak of his powers. But looking into the age profile that Arsenal have been signing, the oldest player that Arsenal signed in that last window was, I think, Matt Turner at 28 years of age. Apart from that, the likes of Zinchenko and Jesus I think are 25. But as Fabrizio also mentions, Arsenal might also have a doubt about Sane in terms of his injury, ever since he's moved over to Bayern Munich. There is an idea that he's never quite recovered from the ACL injury that he suffered during his time at Man City, whether that's down to a lack of explosiveness or whatever. But in terms of numbers, this year so far I think he already has 7 goals and assists, and in terms of last season we are talking 14 goals and 15 assists. There is no issue that lies here, certainly in the numbers. He confirms that Sane is not our number one option, but that being said, looking into our current front three of Gabriel Martinelli on the left hand side, Jesus and Bukayo Saka, would you guys like to see Arsenal sign Leroy Sane? Moving on to Wolfsburg striker Jonas Wind. As he says, if we look into the future, Arsenal would be a dream destination for me, as it has been always my favourite club. I think the Premier League is the best league in the world, but that's not what I'm focusing on at the moment. Jonas Wind is a Danish international centre forward, 23 years of age, moving from Copenhagen to Wolfsburg in January 2022, scoring 5 goals in the latter half of last season. And he is a somewhat exciting up-and-coming centre forward prospect, but at the same time, forget about reliable reports. There have been no reports whatsoever linking Jonas Wind with the transfer to the Emirates Stadium. This is more of a player's personal desire, and this isn't the first time where you've had other players from clubs saying their dream is to move to the Emirates. The likes of Tammy Abraham, Ollie Watkins, and countless other players in the past have confirmed that Arsenal is their dream club. But in terms of Arsenal actually making their move, with the signing of Gabriel Jesus, Arsenal have their centre forward there and there. And if we are to see Arsenal sign another striker on top of that, Arsenal are far more likely to sign a more proven striker that is a household name and a level raising type of signing, maybe someone like Victor Osimhen. And moving on to the other Arsenal news today. August was an amazing month for Arsenal, winning 5 games out of 5, top of the Premier League, the perfect start to the brand new season, and the Premier League have recognised that. As Mykhaylo Mudryk is one of the 5 managers alongside Antonio Conte, Pep Guardiola, Graham Potter and Marco Silva up for the August Manager of the Month award. The only manager there to win all of his games there. Top of the Premier League. If Arteta doesn't win the award, then that would confirm there is actually a conspiracy theory against Arsenal. But the awards don't just end there, as Arsenal duo Gabriel Jesus and Martin Odegaard, alongside the likes of Gross, Haaland, Mitrovic, Pope, Rodrigo and Zaha, have been nominated for the Premier League Player of the Month. Odegaard scored 3 goals and Jesus in total got 6 goals and assists, but I just have a feeling with Erling Haaland scoring goal after goal after goal, and likewise Mitrovic, I'm not quite sure if the Arsenal duo here come out on top. But talking about Arsenal duos, the goal of Jesus against Leicester and Saliba's goal against Bournemouth have also been nominated for the Premier League Goal of the Month. Arsenal top of the Premier League, winning game after game after game, and nominations for Manager of the Month, Player of the Month, Goal of the Month. This is a sign of a top team in the making, and long may it continue. Moving on to some stats, and here is a graphic of passes received heat maps of the Arsenal starting 11 this season. Left hand side to right hand side, look at Zinchenko versus Ben White. Ben White is staying in his area, but Zinchenko is playing everywhere, from left back to left central midfield to left winger. A shout out to Granit Xhaka playing a box to box role. You've got Martinelli and Saka holding the width. But look at the centre forward in Gabriel Jesus. Left wing, right wing, down the middle, this guy is absolutely everywhere. Linking up play, playing as a false 9. I think that part of his game is fantastic, but the next thing that I want to see is him getting more and more into the box, because when he's in that box, he has a very good instinct of where to be at the right time. I think right now, for my liking, he's a bit too involved in the build-up. And that's why in the games like Man United, he's amazing outside the box, but inside of firing off 0 shots on targets. That is the smallest bit of criticism I can give him, because apart from that, I absolutely adore him. But talking about Jesus, him alongside Gabriel Magalhaes and Gabriel Martinelli have all been left out of the Brazil national team squad for the upcoming friendlies against Ghana and Tunisia. Fans just can't understand where you've got 3 players here who are in form, a part of an in-form Arsenal team. Jesus is scoring goals, getting assists, likewise Gabriel Martinelli. Gabriel Magalhaes hasn't been outstanding, but still pretty decent. For them to be left out here, something here feels a bit suspicious. According to Brazilian reporter Bruno Andrade, Gabriel Magalhaes should be the 4th defender in the World Cup, but in this squad Bremer and Ibanez have been called up to eventually fight for the 5th spot in defence, and Gabriel Jesus is only out for Tite to re-evaluate Antony and Roberto Firmino. And you've also had Tite, the Brazil manager, praise Gabriel Jesus, but saying that this is just a moment to give opportunities to other attackers. That should be confirmation that both of these players are going to be a part of the World Cup squad. And in terms of Gabriel Martinelli, even though there is even bigger competition in his spaces, if he keeps on scoring for Arsenal and playing in the amazing form that he is, then I think he also has an amazing chance of making the squad. There's also some rumours flying about that Edu Gaspar has played some cards behind the scenes. Now here is a photo of Tite being at the Emirates Stadium alongside Edu Gaspar at an Arsenal game around 12 days ago. And the idea that's flying about right now is the fact that Edu has asked for Tite to rest Jesus, Martinelli and Magalhaes, just to ensure these guys are fit and ready and available for the hectic amount of fixtures that Arsenal have past this next international break. And the fact that Edu used to work at Brazil as a technical director, one can only imagine he does have a bit of power behind the scenes. But anyways, that's the video there and there, so hopefully you guys have enjoyed, and if you have, don't forget to go down there to smash a like and also to subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you want to follow your boy on all of his social medias, then the links are down below in the description. But that was the latest Arsenal news today, so no fixture this weekend. It is a bit disappointing, but at the same time it is what it is. We look to the future, and until then, take care of yourselves and in a bit.